Good afternoon and welcome back to our Chamber South Member Spotlight with our partners at Miami Community Newspapers. My name is Brittnie Bassant and I'm the Executive Director for Chamber South. And today I have with me two very special and cool guests, and I'm smiling and grinning from ear to ear because for the first time, at least with the Chamber South show, we have a pup. This is Charlie, and Charlie is joined today by his dad, Miles Early, the
Hi.
owner of Servpro South Miami.
Yes.
Okay,
Nice to be with you.
Welcome, Miles. Welcome, Charlie. I don't know how I'm going to get through this interview because I am so distracted by this adorable. Oh my God! Stop! he's stealing the show. He's so freaking cute. Okay, so this is Charlie and Miles. Miles, I want to know a little bit about you. Tell me about your background and tell me how you got into this field and this profession and why you have decided to own a Servpro franchise.
Well, I've always been in service, and originally from Pittsburgh, but I came down to Florida about 30 years ago and raised my family down here in Florida, and always been in service. And over the last 20 years, been in restoration, and two different companies over the last 7 years with Servpro. And it's just who I am, about being a people person, and always enjoying being in the service business. So that's a little bit about who I am and what we enjoy. Servpro is I'm proud to be an owner of Servpro. There's about 1,200 franchises, and we're always in the top 100 the last 3-4 years, and we're proud of that. Proud of the people that I have working for us down here in South Florida. So I brought Charlie today. He does work with me. He goes to work with me every day, and he's unique that he enjoys going to work, and he's also a people person.
That's wonderful. Yeah, tell us a little bit about Charlie. Tell us a little bit about Charlie and his role and what he does with Servpro.
Well, I do drive with him and drive to job sites, and he's good about either being on site or having to stay in the truck. We inherited him from my daughter, who ended up having a job where she couldn't take him. It was in New York City. So we inherited him about 6 years ago. And we have also a golden doodle. I guess he's getting a little more comfortable.
He's down for the, no, he's not down for the count, but we'll just move his microphone a little bit closer to him.
He enjoys going to work with us, and he's a unique dog and listens well, that it works out well to take him to work with us.
I'm in love. I really am. How old is Charlie?
He's 10 years old.
Oh my God.
And dog age, how old is he?
That would, I guess, take him to about 70. So he's a young 70.
Guys, but what? Oh my gosh. For those of us that don't know, what is Servpro? Tell us about what the business model is. What do you guys do?
Sure. It's based around taking care of people's floods, fire, and mold. They also do carpet and upholstery cleaning, but typically we focus on the unfortunate situations for people, but we're proud to take care of them when they do have a flood damage or mold or fire. We do A to Z, where we do the pack out, as well as we do the reconstruction as well when the people need the reconstruction.
So full service, all inclusive. You guys can handle it all with, unfortunately, kind of, damage, disaster, restoration.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate for the client, but we're proud to make it as easy as possible for them. It is stressful for them.
Yeah, when you're in a situation like that and you're dealing with something like that, what you want more than anything is simplicity and ease, and be able to go to one person, have them know what they're doing, have them understand what it is that you're going through, understand all the components of it, and ultimately, provide a solution, solve a problem, fix it, make it as easy as possible. And that's what you guys do.
That's what we do. We also work with the insurance company. They, unfortunately, with all the hurricanes this day and age, the insurance doesn't tend to be an easy process. So we do work hand in hand with the insurance company, and also try and take some of that stress off of the client in regards to, the insurance part of it.
And do you do this for not just residential, but commercial as well?
Yes, we do commercial. In fact, Servpro has gotten quite large when it comes to commercial ARSAs. We had not too long ago one here in South Miami, fairly large, a dealership, and they were incredibly impressed where they could use us from soup to nuts. It was actually a 5-story facility they had here, and we took care of them from A to Z, and they were quite happy and recommend us all the time.
Wonderful. That's absolutely incredible. And so you talked that there are multiple franchises across the country, correct? And
Yes.
I'm sure there are multiple franchises in the South Florida area. What is your service location in terms of that?
We have Cutler Bay, South Miami area here down in South Miami. There's about 5 franchises here down here, so I'm one of 5, and I'm proud of my other fellow Servpros. We tend to we're one of 4 franchises in Florida that are in the top 100. So me particularly, I'm in the top 100 of the 1,200 franchises around the country. So we're proud of that. I'm incredibly proud of my organization and my people. I can always remember my father said, "You're only as good as your weakest link and the people that you have working for you." So
I completely agree. I say it all the time. You're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with, and
Yep.
no one ever accomplishes anything alone. And
the other philosophy that I'm proud of, that I like everyone to be an extension of me. I would love to be on every job site that we have, but obviously that's impossible. But I tell my employees, you are representing me, and as well as the big picture, we're representing brand. So we also have to keep that in mind, that we're proud of being Servpro, proud to be Servpro, and everyone has to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So going back to your location areas, are you South 90 through Cutler Bay? So like
There's an open area, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there overlaps? Let's say, and the reason I'm asking, obviously for our viewers and for our membership,
Mhm.
if we have a business that's located in Pinecrest, for example, can you do overlap, or would you refer them to another franchise?
That tend to, if they call corporate, that call is going to come to me, because that's in the middle of my 2 territories, and it's actually open.
Okay. So there isn't
So if it does,
another franchise that has that area.
yeah, you have so much with social media. So we all have protocol and rules when it comes to social media and doing the right thing. And then if the call does go to corporate, then they send it to the closest franchise if that area is open.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit about the past 14 months, maybe even longer at this point. I've stopped keeping track really with this pandemic and kind of the impact that COVID had. And what did you guys see in your industry with that?
Well, obviously that's been an unfortunate situation for us, the world, and the country. When it came to my business, we actually didn't miss a beat, in the sense that we were here for the businesses that needed that clean. We are trained for the fact of Tyvek suits and getting in gear with respirators and making sure that PPE is used to protect the employee. So we actually had a lot of COVID cleaning, especially when during the first 6 months, we were super busy because we were all scared, and rightfully so.
It was unlike anything that anyone's ever dealt with.
Yes. So it was to the extreme. Now there's not so much, that extreme cleaning as we all were doing the first 6 months with the PPE.
But you touched on something very important. So is that also a service that you provide in terms of, just a deep clean? Like there's no damage, there's no disaster, there's no, flood or mold or fire, whatever the case may be. But, I have this building or I have this facility that I want to do a really deep clean, make sure I have the pros, make sure I have the right people who know what they're doing. Is that something that you guys provide?
We provide that to the fullest, including the duct cleaning. We also bring in scrubbers, which clean the air. So, as you hit surfaces and clean surfaces, you're still going to have particles in the air. So we even bring in scrubbers that do clean the air, that they're used for both like the pandemic as well as doing mold remediation.
Okay. That's great. That's great for our viewers and for our businesses and for our community to know that it doesn't have to be, thankfully, it doesn't have to be disaster related or damage related for you to call on Servpro if you want something a little bit more preventative, or just make sure that you're
if you're taking over a new space,
yes,
whether it be a house or a building,
yeah,
that you want to give your clients or your employees, let them have peace of mind that it's been spotless.
and a high standard, very high standard.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
That's incredible to know. So it's interesting that you guys that you do that. And do you still offer that like deep COVID
Oh, of course.
full service? Because
yes.
we still, thankfully we are getting back to a place where cases are going down, vaccine rates are going up, and we're coming back to normal. But there's still times where businesses have, an employee or a few that may have to not be on premise because they have the virus, and wanting to make sure that they provide a safe workplace for the remainder of their staff and their employees. They can call on Servpro to help.
We still have those calls. There's not as much, fortunately, with the way that we're at now, but we do get those calls still.
Okay. So this is really interesting to talk about, how your business model is again, unfortunately, through the disaster, when disaster hits, when disaster strikes. We know what that means here in South Florida, hurricanes, always. But interestingly enough, Servpro has they're very proactive on hurricane preparedness and hurricane, getting ahead of it, knowing what you should do. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, in fact, we like to do seminars and meet and greets where we'll talk about, hurricane preparedness. I think we all have gotten somewhat, unfortunately, knowledgeable of what to do during a hurricane. But and when it comes to Servpro, besides the fact of, being prepared, we're unique and the best at it, that we call it Storm, where if there is an affected area, all us franchises from around the country will converge on that area, and it's very systematic. We actually have like a general put in place, and because those local Servpros obviously can't handle the volume, even the competition, that area can't keep up with the volume. When it comes to Servpro, we'll travel. We've gone as far as Texas and up to Pennsylvania to help others, areas that need help.
And that reminds me a lot of another great community partner, FPL. And when there are storms and when there are disasters, they do the same thing where they converge on that area, and they bring in all of their resources, and they pull from other states and other areas to make sure that the areas that need it the most have the help that they need in that moment. And I think it's terrible. Not that it's terrible. We never want disaster to strike. We never want there to be an issue. But when it does happen, the beauty of it is that we all come together as a community and make sure that we're helping each other as much as possible and supporting each other.
Yes. And in fact, we'll set up man camps by those utility companies that set up the man camps. And we're proud of the fact that we're, the last one in Louisiana, me and my guys, we didn't come home for 6 weeks. So my guys also put in the, that it's a sacrifice for both us and our families. But it's that type of commitment that we have to help out, people who need help.
Absolutely. That's incredibly important. And again, like I said, being able to incorporate that as part of your business model, that when there is a need, you are there, I think says a lot about the company. So yes. I applaud you on that. Absolutely, Miles.
Thank you.
That's great.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
And just so that our viewers and our members and our community knows, we are actually partnering with Servpro on a hurricane preparedness workshop next week. So it's going to be next week, Tuesday, 11:30. Tuesday's the 22nd, I do believe. So next week, Tuesday, the 22nd at 11:30, it's going to be at our Chamber South headquarters. So please go ahead and sign up on our website, reach out to us. We'll give you more information on that. But that's great. Servpro will be there giving us great tips on hurricane preparedness. So that's something that you definitely want to be a part of. So are there any other initiatives that you guys do? I know that you do monthly CPR classes, and that's interesting.
Well, thank you for bringing it up. I'm proud of that. As we got bigger, I'm proud of being Servpro, and I wanted to have areas that we give back to the community. So there's been some things like with the hurricane when it hit the Bahamas. I had a school down here in Cutler Bay, the private school, and I went to them. I said, do you have an extra desk and so forth? And we actually put a container full of school desk and furniture for the Bahamas, and I had got with Tropical, and they shipped it over for free. So we were proud of that. We also give to the Humane Society, but I'm most proud on the fact that once a month we have at our facility a free CPR certification that I pay for anyone who wants to be CPR certified at our company's expense, and we also then go out, and if there's a company, and we did one recently, the girls did, I think this week, where it was a local company, and we had 24 in the class, and Servpro had food and refreshments there, and paid for the certificate for everyone to get CPR certified. So I think it's an incredible way of giving back to the community where people's lives can be saved for what we're doing.
That's huge. That's corporate social responsibility. That's what you want to see businesses and organizations do. That's absolutely incredible. That goes more than just, we're a business and we're providing a service, but we are a part of this community and we want to do whatever we can in whatever way to make it a better place for us to live, work, and play. And again, that's something that I applaud you on, because that's something to be extremely proud of. And so if you're listening, you're a member of Chamber South, you're a member of our community, you have a business and you have a team that you'd like to get CPR certified and you want to connect with Servpro, please do, and give them the opportunity to come out there and have a CPR class at your location or go to their location.
Yeah, once a month. It's a Saturday. And if you're just an individual and you want to get CPR certified, it's typically around a $250 to $300 cost, and it's for free. I offer it.
And will Charlie be there? Because that's
Charlie typically is not there at the CPR.
Charlie's not there at the CPR classes.
I apologize.
Oh no. Well, you'll just have to go find, because Charlie goes with you, right, on the road.
Yes, he does.
You've got to go find Miles on the road if you guys want to meet Charlie and say hi to this absolute love, because he's a natural here.
He's unique. He enjoys going to work. He is waiting for me, and I can't get past him. He has to go with me. So.
He is an absolute treasure. He's so great. Is Charlie your only?
We have another golden doodle,
okay.
Riley, and believe it or not, he's typically with us, but he's getting a little older in age, and I'm just trying to be careful with his rear legs that they're getting a little weak.
Riley's off today. But Charlie's here, and we're so happy to have him here. Miles, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Are there any other initiatives that you guys are doing? Or if you want to give me just kind of the essence of your company, why someone should call you, why someone should work with you?
I just feel that we are one of the leaders in the business, that God forbid that you do need to have some mold, and we do come out for free to see if in fact you have mold and give you the guidance if we think you do. But we're proud to be here in South Florida, and we feel as part of the community down here. And I can't thank you enough for giving us this kind of opportunity to let the public know, who we are and what we do, and the fact that we are one of the best in the industry, and the fact that, God forbid, if something happens, that we have our backs covered with other fellow Servpros from around the country.
Absolutely. So here's the deal, guys, right? You don't ever want to call Servpro, you don't want to have that issue. I mean, unless you're doing a deep clean, which I think is everyone should do that. But it's the kind of person that you don't want to call, but you want to make sure that you know who to call when you do need to call them. And absolutely, they are extremely qualified, extremely certified. They have your backs. They'll make sure that the job gets done. They can do it from A to Z, everything you need, full service, all inclusive. They're the guys you need to have in your back pockets. So make sure that you reach out to Servpro. Thank you so much, Miles. Charlie is
Brittnie,
definitely doing some interesting stuff here on the chair. But thank you to Miles. Thank you to Charlie. Hello. He's like, we're done. But thank you so much, guys. This has been another Chamber South member spotlight with our partners here at Miami Community Newspapers. And be sure to join us every Thursday. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.